Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Well, you know what? I always try and look at two sides of a story, sometimes even giving them way more benefit of the doubt than I should ever give. But this story, I just find it really hard to explain. So a lawsuit was filed in Seattle recently suing Holland America. And quite often the first thing on my mind is, are these people looking for something for free? And when you hear this story, you'll probably agree with me that this is anything but far from that kind of an example. A couple, a gentleman is 68 years old and his wife 65 years old, decided to take a cruise on Holland America to Nassau in the Bahamas. On the very first night of the cruise, they were only about 4 hours outside of the port, and the wife came down with a stroke on board. By that time, they were about 100 miles from shore, which, yes, is in international waters, but it's also very reachable by Coast Guard helicopters and emergency craft if they need to be evacuated back to the ports. The cruise line didn't do this. Instead, they brought them down to the medical facility, and eventually they sent them by tugboat to the Bahamas hospital. When they got to the Bahamian hospital, the doctors there said, we're not equipped properly to handle this kind of situation, which doesn't really inspire a whole lot of confidence in the Bahamas hospital system to me. And they ended up having to wait overnight because, get this, the airport was closed, so they couldn't send a medical plane back to the United States. Finally, she was airlifted, got to the hospital, and was looked at, but by then, as you know, when you get a stroke, I've lived through two with my family, not myself, but people in my family, my father, my mother, and not my mother, my grandmother. And time is of the essence. The faster you can get medical attention, the higher success chance that you'll live a completely normal life and things will be fine. But a delay of this source, they delayed her over 15 hours before getting proper medical treatment. 15 hours is a lifetime when you're talking about a stroke. Brain damage can occur, mobility can occur, and at this time, she is now in a nursing home, and the husband says she'll probably never be able to return home again. And it doesn't dawn on me, in a stroke or a heart attack situation, in what frame of mind does any doctor on anywhere, whether you're on a cruise ship or anywhere in the world, not send you to the fastest, best medical care available? And obviously the Bahamian hospital was not the place because they had to send her to the United States. They basically sat her in a chair and in a bed and then waited for the airport to open to send her back to the United States. They're saying irreparable damage. She can no longer walk. She has a hard time communicating, talking, figuring out languages. Her communication skills is way down, and yeah, like her husband says, she'll probably never come out of the nursing home. So if there's no more to this story and extenuating circumstances other than they decided to send her to Bahamas instead of back to the United States for some reason, somebody's completely at fault. And get this, they're only suing for around $75,000 in a situation like this where your life has been impacted and your whole way, how much is a nursing home per year? And only to be asking $75,000. Quite frankly, if this story is completely factual and there's no extenuating circumstances, I think millions of dollars is more along the case. And right now, when Holland America was reached out to comment by the press, right now they're remaining silent on the situation. And right, they probably should, because there's not a whole lot you can say to defend this other than we were in the middle of a storm and they couldn't send a helicopter. That wasn't the case. This was a decision somewhere on board. They decided that sending somebody by tugboat to the shore in Bahamas was better than airlifting somebody back to the port of Miami for proper medical care. What do you guys think? Do you think, like, I don't get angry very often. Like I said, I always try and see the 2 points of a story. I don't see the 2 points in this one. When it comes to medical care, you err on the side of caution no matter what. No matter what. Period. That's my take. So what if it costs $30,000 to make sure somebody is not paralyzed for life? Or their life is not over because of that. And especially with the insurances and the medical facilities that were available, there doesn't seem to be a reason for this. And it's, like I said, you can probably see I'm kind of frustrated about this because I've lived through 2 of these situations myself, and both times we were able to get them to the hospital within an hour, and they had no effects afterwards whatsoever. I can only imagine what would have happened had we done 15 hours. And top it all off, hop on a tugboat, drive a tugboat, ambulance to the shore, into the waiting room. Oh, you gotta wait. Ambulance to the airport, flight back to Miami, ambulance back to the hospital. Like, come on. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. What do you guys think? Leave your comment down below. You can tell I'm a little frustrated with this one because medical care should be the top priority in any situation. Life, death, health, safety, priority, no matter what. And if we hear this was a financial decision, sue them for every cent they got. That's kind of my thought on the process. I really hope something comes out to change this story, that it wasn't negligence and they really couldn't have done it. But it's not looking good so far. I hope you liked this news update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.